Ben Franklin once said, "By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail." Franklin was a man of many talents in his time, as a diplomat and an author, but mostly we remember him and his contribution to science and electricity. Which brings me to the topic of experimental design. Franklin's words have significant relevance in relation to good experimental design, which aims to reduce and counteract errors while improving confidence in the final results garnered. Good experimental design is often based on five distinct steps: replication, randomization, repeated measures or pairing, blocking of factors, and allocation of subjects. Let's break these steps down a bit further. Replication is exactly as it sounds. Can the experiment being conducted be carried out again, possibly multiple times, under the same conditions outlined in your methodology? Replication is a crucial step in ensuring the results garnered from the experiment can be trusted and reduces the likelihood of outlier results from chance. By being able to replicate the results under the same conditions, stronger conclusions can be drawn. Replication is also crucial inside your method as well, as we have seen the effect on confidence intervals smaller samples have compared to larger ones. If we are conducting an experiment, for example, on the air quality around a coal mine site in the Latrobe Valley, we would want to make sure we take multiple samples using the same methods on multiple days at multiple times in multiple locations to reduce the error rates in the experiment. This would help negate external factors such as wind and weather and low activity days where they're overrepresented in the data collected by sheer weight of numbers. Randomization is a terrific way to reduce bias in results, especially when human factors are heavily implicated within testing data. By randomizing the subjects being studied, we can look at the test subjects largely free of bias from the researcher, but also in the subject matter involved. Randomization is particularly useful in medical trials where blind studies use placebos and control groups amongst a population to allow the effects of the therapeutic treatment to be accurately studied, free from prescriber bias, and taking into account the placebo effect, which allows the researchers to work with raw data rather than the human factors that may be attributed to certain traits or results. Blocking of factors is a process where external variables to an experiment are considered and taken into account. Perhaps you are keen to know the strength of coffee consumed in a group. You might block milk types and certain brands of coffee together to allow greater data analysis and also reduce the unforeseen and flat out weird variable, like someone who drinks their coffee with mayonnaise. I'm looking at you, Tennessee Titans quarterback Will Levis. Repeated measures take into the consideration the potential for subject variation and look to reduce it by exposing the subject to all forms of the variable being tested, and effectively has the subject serving as their own control group. For example, let's imagine you have potential allergy to prawns. Firstly, I'm terribly sorry to hear that. Prawns are delicious, but I digress. You want to test this hypothesis based on that one time you got sick at Jenny's Australia Day barbecue after a good helping of garlic prawns. But do we know if it was the prawns that are the risk, or is it how they were prepared? A test on several different exposures to prawns in many different preparation techniques might be justified here to rule out that garlic might have been the issue, or even the gallons of mimosas that day. Allocation of subjects is the final step to be covered here in experimental design and focuses on the unbiased grouping of subjects either through random spreads or through a level of stratification, i.e., through age ranges or shoe sizes, for example, to ensure adequate representation of groups. This can assist with calling out trends in the data post the experiment and again strengthens the confidence in the data for analysis and reporting. So that's a quick look at experimental design. Thanks for watching.